Hello, hi everyone. Can you hear me? Okay, can you see me? Okay. My name is Ariel Goodbody, and today I am going to be teaching intermediate English for the next hour. So if you can hear me and see me, say hello. And yeah, write hello to me. Okay. So I am in the United Kingdom. I have some questions for us to start, so I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, so here you can see my questions. So first, tell me which country and city are you from, or where you are right now as well. So I am from the United Kingdom, as you can probably tell from my accent, and I am from the city of Bath. Okay, so Bath is a small city in the southwest of England. Okay, tell me also what's the weather like over there? So these are three questions for you. So what's the weather like over here, over there? Over here, the weather is quite sunny. Actually, I can open the curtain. Fantastic. So, well, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you view it, it is quite nice and sunny over here. But of course, because of the coronavirus situation, we can only go out once a day to exercise. So after this class, I will be going out for a nice walk and I'm going to soak up some of the sunshine. Soak up means absorb, take in. So after this class, I'm going out to soak up the sunshine, which finally I can get some nice sunshine. Okay, hello, Alex. Hello, Virginia. Hello, Celia from Madrid. Okay, Celia and David, I remember from the last class and possibly even the class before. So it's lovely to see students again from before. Hello, Ruben from Alicante. Virginia, you were also here last time, weren't you? So Virginia is calling from Albacete. Windy but sunny day. Yeah, I don't think it's very windy, but I don't know because I have not gone outside yet today. So we will see in a moment when I do go outside. Fantastic. Okay, so Alex, tell me what country and city you're from as well. And also tell me what's something nice you did this weekend. Now, I know, of course, the weekends and the weekdays are kind of melting together at the moment. Yeah, they're all melting into one. Okay, this is something we can say. All of the days are all melting into one because they're so similar, right? The days are all melting into one. All the days are very similar, and it's hard to tell them apart. Okay, that's the meaning. So definitely recently, because we are all inside, it does feel a bit like all the days are melting into one. So maybe for you, the difference between the weekdays and the weekend is not very clear. For me, it is a bit because I'm not working on the weekend, so that makes it quite a clear difference. So maybe it's hard to remember, but if you can remember, tell me something nice you did on the weekend. Hello, Erika from Ecuador. Lovely. I have had a few students from Ecuador recently, actually. Hello, Anna from Venezuela. Anna, I believe you were in a previous class as well, and it is sunny in Venezuela. Okay, well, it's always sunny in Venezuela, isn't it? Maybe not. Lucia is calling from Alicante. I definitely recognize Lucia from previous classes. So it's so great to see students coming back. And in Alicante, it is cloudy And this weekend, Lucia ate one of her favorite desserts, which sounds delicious. What dessert was it, Lucia? I love desserts, so you have to tell me. I eat ice cream pretty much every day. It's not healthy, but I do. Okay, Oscar, I recognize Oscar Garcia, calling from Mexico, where it is sunny and hot. Fantastic. I really want to go to Mexico, because I read a novel called, well, in Spanish, it's called Como agua para chocolate, like water for chocolate. And it's a Mexican novel and it's all about food. And I read that novel and oh my God, I decided I have to go to Mexico and eat all the food because the food in Mexico sounds amazing. Okay. And in Madrid, it's a rainy day. David, why are you saying expecto patronum? This isn't a Harry Potter. I'm not a Dementor. What are you saying, David? Okay. So, something nice I did this weekend. I've played a lot of video games this weekend, to be honest. I've just been playing video games and reading, but I've been playing a new video game called Animal Crossing, which is super relaxing. You play as a little person on an island and you can plant flowers and chop wood and make furniture, and it's super relaxing and a very just it kind of feels like the perfect escapist fantasy at the moment. So an escapist fantasy is an ideal vision of something that's very different from your normal life. Okay, so right now the idea of living on a deserted island and picking fruit and chopping down trees and collecting insects, that is an escapist fantasy because it's so different from the situation we're all in now. So I really recommend now is a great time to read, watch TV shows and play video games that are maybe a bit more escapist than you're used to. Yeah. Media about desert islands, really good. Media about maybe a different time period, like medieval times, just something different, because I find, at least, if I focus on like a TV show or a game for a few hours, I can almost trick my brain into thinking that I'm in that place rather than here. So it gives a bit of variety. Lucia had torrijas on the weekend. So torrijas is a lovely Spanish dessert. I actually had torrijas when I was in Spain in December in the south of Spain. Fantastic. Actually, my favorite Spanish dessert, though, has to be mantecados. Oh, so good. When I was there in December, I was just eating every day. Mantecados hasta las topes, like just completely. I stuffed myself full of mantecados. Okay. Stuff is like to shove something in, like when you have a stuffed animal, like a teddy bear, they're stuffed, right? So I stuffed myself full of mantecados when I was in Spain, and I wish I could eat some now, to be honest. Okay, Thelia says this weekend she cooked some different desserts. David asked, do I know Brawl Stars? I don't. Is that a phone game, David? The name, it rings a bell. It rings a bell. You say this when you hear something, when someone says a name, okay, that you have heard maybe once or twice, okay, but you're not sure what it is. Okay, so David asked, do I know Brawl Stars? And like, I think I've heard of that game before, so it rings a bell, but I'm not really sure. Is it a phone game? I think it's a phone game. Okay, Ruben says, hello, Patricia. Ruben says, I did exercise at home, running in the garage and cycling with a special roller. That's fantastic, Ruben. So, of course, it's really important even if we're stuck inside, to get some form of exercise. So running on like a treadmill. A treadmill is una cinta para correr. Let me just add that in. So if you're lucky enough to have a treadmill, now is the perfect time to have a treadmill, I think. If you're lucky enough to have a treadmill, then use a treadmill. But maybe you don't, right? You can lift weights. So lift weights like, heavy things. So if you have weights, you can lift weights to do exercise at home. If you don't have weights, you can use a can of soup. You can use a water bottle. There are loads of things that you can use, just something heavy. If you have children, just pick up your children and put them down 100 times. And I bet they'll have fun as well. Also, you can dance around your house. That's what I've been doing when I haven't been able to go outside. Like if it's raining, I just dance around my room. And that's a really fantastic form of exercise as well. So try and stay active at home during these times is also a good piece of advice. Okay, well, it sounds like you've all had quite varied weekends, which is fantastic. So in this class, we're going to play a little game, okay, called Taboo, and then we're going to write a story together. Okay, now remember, this is an intermediate level class, so I'm speaking, normally I teach beginner levels, so I'm speaking a bit faster than usual. I'm introducing new phrases. Okay, if at any point you are completely lost, you don't understand what's going on at all, or just generally the class is too difficult, just write a comment and let me know, okay? Obviously, it's a bit hard for me to tell because you're all here virtually rather than physically, but I want to make sure that, as many people can understand as possible. And of course, intermediate is quite a broad range, really, of what it can mean. Okay. So we're going to start with a game called Taboo. Some of you may remember this. I think we did it in the last class that I did. So I will explain a word, but I have to avoid using the most common words to do it. Okay? So for example, I will explain the meaning of the word kangaroo. Okay, like a kangaroo is a little animal. No. So normally I would just say a kangaroo is an animal with a pouch, like a little bag in its stomach where its baby lives, and it comes from Australia. However, with this game, I'm not allowed to use 5 words. So I would have to explain the meaning of the word kangaroo without using the words pouch, hop, animal, Australia, and captain. I don't know why captain is on that one. Sometimes there are cultural references in this game that I don't understand, but I've got a list of words here that I'm not allowed to use, and apparently captain is one of them. Maybe there's a famous kangaroo captain. I don't know. Anyway, I will describe this word and you have to guess what the word is, okay? And it can also be a name, okay? So it's not always just going to be a word, it can also be a name, okay? So are you all ready to begin? Are you all ready to play? Have you got your thinking caps on? Have you got your thinking caps on? This is a phrase. Cap is like a type of hat. Yeah, so if I ask, have you got your thinking caps on? It means, are you all awake and ready to use your brains? Okay, now, I'll be honest, most of the time, I'm not awake and ready to use my brain. But for this game, I need all of you to be awake and use your brains, which I know is a lot to ask on a Monday afternoon, but that's life, isn't it? Anna is ready. Okay, fantastic, Anna. We've got one person who's ready and has a thinking cap on. Anyone else ready? Who else is ready? Who else has their thinking caps on? Say yes, please. Otherwise, I won't know to start. Oh, you're all asleep today. Okay, Ruben is ready. Okay, fantastic. Alex is ready. Okay, we'll begin. Okay, so we'll do the first word. Let me just, so I'm going to rearrange my screen a bit so I can see all of your comments at once. It's a bit complicated. There we go. Fantastic. Okay. So you're ready to begin, it looks like. So let's begin. Okay. Okay, so this is a place. It is a place in the middle of the sea. Actually, it's surrounded by sea. So the United Kingdom is an example of this. Okay, they can be very big or very small. There are lots of these in Scotland. Madagascar is also one of these. Ireland, Alex, got it. Okay, so I'm going to write down who did it. So the first word was an island, and Alex got it. Okay, so we're going to see maybe some of you are really clever. David got it as well. Fantastic. Maybe some of you really have your thinking caps on. I'm going to answer many of them today. Okay, that's an easy one, I think. Let's do another one. Okay, so this is a person in your family who is not your mother or father, but is the father of your, it's your father's, wait, oh my God, this is so hard. This requires me to do some mathematics in my head, which is always a problem. So this is your father's father's father. Yeah, the father of your father is your what? Or your mother's father's father, or your mother's mother's father, or your father's mother's father. Are you confused yet? Yes! Thelia and David got it. I don't know how you got that because I thought I was going crazy. You're very right. So David got that one first. It is your great-grandfather. I don't know why, but I really struggle with family terms. Like in English, we talk about your first cousins and second cousins, and I always get so confused. So don't ask me to explain the difference between first cousins, second cousins, first cousins twice removed, because I don't understand it myself, and it's my native language. So that was a real struggle for me. Okay, fantastic. Let's do the next word. Okay, so this is a special kind of time. Normally, so there's a thing called that is essentially 365 days. In other words, it is a okay, and this is a special kind of 365 days. It happens. This is a hard one. It happens in a certain month, and it's basically after a few years pass, a leap year. You got it. Oh my God, Celia, you are awake today. Yes, it's a leap year. Okay, Anna also struggles with family vocabulary. Good to know I'm not the only one. Okay, so a leap year. So just explain what a leap year is. A leap year is a year every 4 years when there is an extra day in February. Okay, so there are 29 days instead of 28. Okay. Another thing I'm really bad with is remembering how many days there are in each month. And my mum always had this rhyme to remember it, which said 30 days in November, something something in December. The thing is, I don't remember at all. But I know there are normally 28 days in February, and there are 29 days on a leap year, which happens every 4 years. And this year was actually a leap year. Leap, literally, it's a bit of a strange meaning. Leap is like a jump, but like a really big jump is a leap. Okay, so it's like I guess normally you leap over the day, or you're leaping really far and stretching out another day. I don't know. But there we go. That's what a leap year is. Okay, let's do the next word. We won't do that one because that's maybe a cultural one. Okay, so this is a place for putting food or drinks such as beers, cans of Coke. Okay, so you take this maybe when you go to the beach and you don't want your food or drink to get warm in the sun. You want it to stay nice and frosty. Okay, so you fill it up with frozen water, which has a different name, but I can't say it. Okay, and it's like a yeah, Ruben. So it's like a fridge, but it's like a but it doesn't plug into electricity. Okay, it's just separate. So it's just full of frozen water. So it has a slightly different name. An ice box. Very good. Eduardo, I think I'm reading comments on YouTube, but I don't seem to be getting very many. Okay. So I don't know if all of the comments on YouTube are coming through. So I'm just going to open up another tab and see if I can see all the comments on YouTube, because I don't think they're all coming through. So I'm going to put that one as Ruben. Okay. So it's an ice box. So an ice box is like a big, it's usually blue, a big box that you fill with ice, and then you take it to the beach. So an ice box. Sorry, myself playing twice there. And you use it to cool drinks and stuff. Yeah, okay. So I think I'm getting all of the YouTube comments. There is a delay though, because when I say something, so it might be faster on italki.com. I stay at home. That's the other place where there are comments. I don't know, but I am reading the YouTube comments, Eduardo. Okay. So we'll do the next word. Okay, this is something that doesn't happen very often in the UK, but maybe does happen maybe once a year at most. It's a type of weather that you get specifically in winter. It tends to happen in January or February, at least in the northern hemisphere. And it's essentially a kind of weather where something falls from the sky and collects on the ground. And children absolutely love this because sometimes the schools shut down because of it. They can go out and throw balls of this at each other. They can make men out of it. They can make angels in this. It's just everyone's favorite weather. Exactly, Ruben. You got it exactly right. It's snow. Okay. So it did not snow this year. Oh no, it snowed like 2 days, but it was for like 10 minutes in the UK. So it really didn't snow very much this year in the UK. Last year, I think it was last year. I think it was last year or the year before. There was one, I think it was either last year or the year before. It snowed really heavily. And when I say really heavily, it maybe was like this much, but for us, that's a lot of snow and everything shuts down. So there you go. Okay, we're going to do one more word for taboo. I'm trying to find an interesting one. Also, a lot of these seem to be winter related. Okay, this is a difficult one. So this is a kind of fabric or material, or rather it's a long, thin thing that you use to join fabric or material together when making clothes. So you have to put it through a sharp object, and then you run this sharp object through the fabric or material to connect the clothes. you get these on like a little plastic thing, like it goes around it. It's very long and very thin. It comes in various different colors. It can be made from sheep's wool, or it can be made from, I guess, lots of things. Silkworms can produce a type of this. It's really not useful on its own. You have to use it with thread. Fantastic. Eduardo got that. So it's a hard one. Thread. Okay, so thread, un hilo en español, un hilo. Okay, so you put a thread through a needle, and then you use the needle to sew. Okay, so you sew, I think it's cudrir. You sew with a needle and thread, okay? Or at least some people do. I knew how to sew a long time ago, but I have not sewed in a very long time. I need to, because I have a lot of holes in my socks. Coser, sorry, it's coser. Yeah. Maybe some of you are good at sewing. I want to learn it. I bought a sewing kit a long time ago, and then I never learned how to do it. So there you go. Okay, so very well done, everyone. Especially well done to Ruben, who got 2 correct, although you all did a fantastic job. So great work. Okay, so we're going to do a bit of story writing now. Okay, and first what we're going to do is we're going to use some cards that I have with some interesting pictures on them to help us write. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a moment, and I have this deck of cards here with very lovely images on it. Okay, so first I'm going to shuffle the deck. Voy a barajar. I don't know how to say deck. This is the deck of cards, the collection of cards. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle the deck. I'm going to drop the cards on the floor, apparently. I didn't think I have my thinking cap on today, to be honest. I'm quite tired. Okay. And we're going to draw 3 cards from the deck and use them to inspire our story. Okay. So, are you all ready to start? Have you got your thinking caps on? Have you got your creative juices flowing? So that's another phrase, another saying we use, yeah? When you're feeling really creative and like you've got lots of ideas, we say, my creative juices are flowing. Sounds a bit strange now that I think about it, but yeah. So my creative juices are definitely flowing. I'm ready to do some writing. Oakley dokily. Let's start. Okay, so we will draw the first card. Ooh, this is a fun one. So this card, as you can see, it's a lovely orange cat. It's a cat wearing boots. So you may know the famous fairy tale Puss in Boots, which is about a rather naughty cat called Puss. Puss means a cat, who goes around wearing boots, and he does all kinds of. I think he's a bad cat. I know he does lots of things to help his master, I believe. Okay, so this is maybe Puss in Boots, but this Puss is wearing a lab coat or some kind of white coat, maybe like for a laboratory, like a doctor uses. And the cat is painting a picture, so a lovely little landscape. Not a landscape, sorry. Just a painting of somewhere underwater with some goldfish. So the cat is painting a goldfish, and this goldfish actually seems to be escaping from the frame, escaping from the picture, which is very interesting. Eduardo asks, what is the expression I used before with cup? Did I use an expression with cup? Do you mean my creative juices are flowing? I wrote that in the document, which I'll show in a minute. I don't remember using one with cup. If you remember if you could give me more of an idea, Eduardo, because I've forgotten already what I said. Sorry about that. Okay, so we have a cat here, and he's a painter cat, which I think is a lovely picture. Okay. Picture number 2, card number 2. I will draw the card. When you take a card from a deck, you draw the card. Okay, I'll just write down these words. So cards and draw a card from the deck. Oh, have you got your thinking caps on? So cap is C-A-P. So I've written that down in the document, which I'll show you in a minute. So thinking cap is like, I'll show you actually, I have a cap here somewhere. This is a cap, this kind of hat, yeah? This is a cap. So it's a cap with it's a hat, this bit is a cap. Let's say that this is my thinking cap. Okay, so do you have your thinking caps on? I do now. Oh, I can think so much better now with my thinking cap on. The problem with this cap is it's a bit, if I put it down, like it goes very, very low. So I can't see very much. But this cap is just not very comfortable. I bought it online, and to be honest, I don't think it was the best decision I've ever made. Let me try and loosen it a bit. Let's see if that helps. Put my thinking cap back on. Oh, yeah, that's much more comfortable, huh? I made it too tight before. Okay, well, I'm going to leave my thinking. You know what? I'm going to be really cool and hip and modern, and I'm going to put my cap on backwards. This is what it's like a very popular style now, right? Like to have like a backwards cap. Okay, so I'm going to draw the second card from the deck. Okay, something a bit more literary. So we have a big pile, a stack of books here, and on the top is a little boy, maybe some kind of elf or something. And at the bottom is a fairy. You see, she's there flying with a magic wand. Okay, so they may be working together in some way or helping each other. Okay, fantastic. And finally, card number 3 is, this is another lovely one. I love all these cards, actually. So this is a gentleman ascending a flight of stairs. It's very hard for me to see where I'm doing with this because I'm looking at it in the video. He's ascending a flight of stairs to a doorway, and the wall is painted like a sky. He's wearing top coat and tails. Top coat and tails is a phrase that refers to a top hat, this type of hat. A waistcoat. So a waistcoat is that kind of fancy jacket you use that doesn't have arms. And then he's got tails here, which is that kind of jacket with the bits at the back. So a top coat and tails is that very kind of formal wear that's a bit old-fashioned now. Okay, top coat and tails, old-fashioned formal wear. Okay. So some of you might recognize this. I believe this is actually an homage. So an homage, H-O-M-A-G-E. An homage is like a reference, like a positive reference to something. So I believe this is an homage to a film. It's referencing a certain film. Do any of you know what film this card is referencing? So this is the ending scene from a famous film with Jim Carrey in it. Does anyone know what film this is referencing? What film this is an homage to? while you think about that, I'm going to take a picture of all these cards so that I can insert it into the document. Okay. So let me move this here. Okay. So we have the 3 cards here. Fantastic. Okay, I'll take a picture of that. And now I will just put this in the Word document and show you the document so we can start our writing. Okay. So I want to know what film the card is an homage to, if any of you know. I see Lucia's got it. Just give me a second. So Lucia got it right. It is the Truman Show. Okay, so the Truman Show is a film with Jim Carrey, not John Carrey, and it's about a man who he lives in a TV show. So his whole life is like a reality TV show. And the idea is that he doesn't know he's in a reality TV show. And they get to see the people who watch the TV show get to follow his whole life. Okay. So the end of the Truman Show, basically halfway through the film, the character Truman realizes he's in a TV show and he decides he wants to get out to the real world. So at the end of the film, he goes on a boat to the end of the TV set because they built this whole fake world where the sky is actually a wall that's been painted on. So at the end of the film, he gets to the end, and just like in the image from this card, he climbs up the stairs and he does a bow and he leaves and goes out into the real world. So it's a bit of an old film. So I'll just write that here. The second card is an homage to the Truman Show. So it's a bit of an old film. The only reason I don't watch that many films, to be honest, but the reason I know it is because we studied it when I was in school. So it left quite an impression on me. Okay, so these are just some of the words that I wrote down. So my creative juices are flowing. They definitely are now. Have you got your thinking caps on? I've got mine on. And Puss in Boots is the name of the fairy tale about the cat who wears boots. A deck of cards. This is a deck of cards. You draw a card from the deck. You take a card from the deck. Top, coat, and tails. I'll show you a picture of what top, coat, and tails looks like. Top, coat, and tails. Yeah, so it's this kind of very classical style of formal wear. And this is an homage, a reference to a film. So very well done, Lucia, for getting that. Okay. Let's start writing. So we have these 3 images here. We're going to try and incorporate these into the story where possible. We don't have to put them in literally. It could just be, metaphorically, or a part of it is in the story. So I'm going to be, Eduardo asks, is top coat and tails the same as a tuxedo? I believe a tuxedo is a slightly different type of jacket. Yeah, so a tuxedo, as you can see, refers to the jacket part, the blazer part, okay? Whereas top coat and tails refers to a top hat, okay? Which is this kind of hat. It refers to a waistcoat, which is this piece of clothing. And then the third part is called... Oh, what's it called? Jacket with tails? What is it called? A tuxedo? A dinner jacket? A tailcoat. That's what it's called. Sorry. Yeah, a tailcoat or coat tails. Okay, so tail is the bit hanging down at the back. So a tuxedo is a bit different. Actually, people say tuxedo now a lot here, but traditionally the British word for a tuxedo is a dinner jacket. Okay. And some people will still insist on saying dinner jacket or DJ instead of tuxedo. Yes, Thelia says a smoking jacket. So a smoking jacket is, again, a bit different. A smoking jacket, as you can see, is usually a dark red color. And it can, I believe it's made of a slightly different fabric. It's more of like a velvet jacket. I'm no expert on this, but if you go to any kind of formal event here, you know they often talk about a black tie event. So a black tie is a specific type of dressing. Okay, so black tie refers to wearing a suit, okay, with a bow tie, and you have to have a bow tie if it's a black tie event. Some events are white tie events, where you can see you can wear a white bow tie at a white tie event, but you are expected to wear tails at a white tie event. So these are honestly the kind of parties that I don't go to, because I think they're stupid. I don't like dressing formally, as you can see, but I'm aware of them. And I actually went to university. I went to university in Cambridge, which, as I'm sure you know, is a very, very old university in the United Kingdom. Actually, I went to this college, King's College, which is the one in the picture, with the beautiful chapel. And at Cambridge, there are loads of black tie events. There are lots of formal events where people are supposed to dress up. So that's why I'm familiar with all of these different things. Celia, a dinner jacket is a type of blazer. Blazer is like a really broad term that can refer to all, it basically refers to all types of jackets. So you can see here, this first one is gray, so it's not a dinner jacket, okay? Because a dinner jacket has to be black, and it has to have these smooth, a dinner jacket or tuxedo has these smooth bits, right? Whereas this one has like a folding part. So it's technically not a dinner jacket. So you're right, Eduardo, we are splitting hairs. But since you are asking, these are the differences. Personally, I don't care, but it's a surprisingly complicated world, believe me. Because one time I got a bit bored and I was Googling about it, and there is loads of fine differences between all these things, and when you're supposed to wear one kind of suit and you're supposed to wear another. So it's a thing that some people care about a lot. Okay. So let's get writing. I'm going to be writing, but I'm going to ask you to fill in some details as we go. Okay. So, there we go. Yeah. Okay. So once upon a time, there was a very artistic cat. Everyone called him Puss in Boots, just like the fairy tale. Okay. Fairy tale in Spanish is una hada, creo. Un cuento de hada, something like that. So the fairy tale. He walked around on two legs and wore a lab coat. So the kind of coat that this cat is wearing is a lab coat. Okay. Which he always put paintbrushes. Let me rephrase this. With paintbrushes poking out of the pockets. So poke out means when something is coming slightly out of something, okay? So they were poking out of his pockets, as you can see here in the picture. You can see the paintbrushes are coming out of his pockets. So the paintbrushes are poking out of his pockets, okay? He loved nothing more than to paint goldfish. But as he painted Cuento de Hadas, thank you, it's fairy tale. he often got quite hungry and he had to stop painting to go and eat a real fish. Okay. One day, Puss in Boots went to his studio. So studio is the place where an artist works. Okay, an artist or an artisan. An artisan is someone who makes like pottery or something with their hands. Okay. Puss in Boots went to his studio to paint. However, to his surprise, he saw something. Now it's your turn. What did Puss see when he came to his studio? Maybe he saw one of his paintings had come to life. It started moving. Maybe he saw a dog artist. Maybe he saw that someone had broken in and stolen all of his paintings. That would be a disaster. God, can you imagine? Eduardo says a crocodile. Okay, that's a nice option. Add some immediate danger to the situation for sure. Okay, any other ideas? What did Puss see in his studio? Perhaps you can take inspiration from the picture as well, from the card. I'm going to make this a bit smaller actually, so yeah. Okay. Any other ideas? We've got a crocodile, we've got my ideas. I want more of your ideas. Maybe Puss sees a clown. I don't like clowns, so that would be a disaster. Or a really big spider. Oh, so many horrible options. What do you think? Okay, well, it looks like Eduardo is the creative one today because Eduardo's also giving us a magician. Celia says he saw his family. Erika says he saw a huge hungry dog. Okay, let's say he saw that one of his paintings had come to life. It was a piece, una obra, set in a zoo where all the animals had broken out. Okay, so all the animals were out of their cages. Okay, in the painting, a crocodile, a hungry dog, and a really big spider were fighting. Okay, and a magician was trying to put them back in their cages. A cage is in Spanish. I knew this word, but I cannot remember it. So when you have an animal and you don't want them to run away, you put them in a cage. Una jaula, exactly. Thank you, Alex. Okay, oops. Okay. However, the animals actually had broken free. They were walking around in Puss's studio. Okay. The cat screamed and slammed the door behind him. So he screamed and slammed the door behind him, okay, to keep away from the crocodile, dog, and spider. Okay. So that's not right. said Puss. Those animals are dangerous. Okay? But I guess I must be a really good artist if they came to life. Really lifelike. Okay. So Puss went. Puss decided he needed a magician to help him. Okay. He went to the magical library where many magicians worked. Okay. So a magician is un mago. Okay. I'm just thinking of the second picture now. Okay, so he goes to the magical library. When he told the magicians what had happened, they were very surprised. Normally, someone with no magic training, ninguna formación mágica, like Puss, could not make a painting come to life. Okay. Perhaps an evil wizard, un mago malo, came into your studio and put a curse on the painting. Okay, put a curse on something. Curse on something is maldecir algo. Okay, lanzar una maldición. Okay, so a curse is una maldición. Okay, so perhaps an evil wizard came into your studio and put a curse on the painting. We will fix it for you, but in return, you must do something. So what do you think? The wizards will fix the painting. Let's say we will put the animals back in the painting for you. But in return, Puss had to do something for the wizards. Okay? What do you think? What do the wizards want Puss to do for them? Okay? Maybe Puss had to chase all the mice out of the library. Maybe the magicians are all scared of mice. That's one option. Maybe Puss needed to teach the magicians how to paint, okay, because they wanted to learn to paint. Maybe Puss had to let me think. What else could Puss do? Ooh, give them his boots. Oh, Ruben. Oh, but these maybe the boots are magical. Okay, Eduardo had the same idea, so we're gonna go with that idea. Okay, but in return, you must give us those boots. My boots? Why? No, those boots are magical. What? But I just found them in the street. Well, there is a powerful magical energy coming from them. And we'd like to add them to our collection. Okay, so Puss thought about it and said, yes or no? What do you think? Does Puss agree to giving them the boots? Or does Puss say no? Because I'll be honest, I think those are nice boots. I would not want to give them away if they were my boots. I would want to keep them. I really like boots. I have a pair of Doc Martens that I love, although soon it will be too hot to wear them. Okay. I'm trying to think how we'll get to the third picture. It's going to be a bit difficult, but I think we can get there. Everything is possible in a story, and I have my thinking cap on, so everything is very possible. So, does Puss give up his boots to the magicians? What do you think? Let me know. I want to know. Because honestly, those are nice boots. But also, he has a crocodile in his studio. A crocodile, a dog, and what was the other animal? And a really big spider. It could be a tarantula. So I would not want to give them boots. Virginia says yes, but the magic of the boots only works if you are pure of heart. Ruben says because the boots are magical, he has the power himself. Eduardo says no. Okay. Puss thought about it and said, no. If the boots are magical, then I can get rid of the animals myself. Okay, I'm going to add what Eduardo said. No, I would rather die than give up my boots. Okay? Besides is like pues or de todos modos. Okay, besides, if the boots are magical, then I can get rid of the animals myself. Okay? Said the magician. I shouldn't have said anything. Okay, I shouldn't have said anything. Tendría que haber dicho nada. Okay? No tendría que haber dicho nada. It's a bit complicated. I shouldn't have said anything. Okay. So Puss went back to the studio. He stamped his boots on the floor. So stamp is when you hit your feet, you go. Yeah. He stamped his boots on the floor and said, abracadabra, alakazam. These are just magical words. Abracadabra, alakazam. A bright light filled the room, and when it cleared, a bright light filled the room, and lots of smoke, mucho humo, mucho vapor. And when it cleared, when the smoke went away, the animals were back in the painting. Brilliant, said Puss. Now that I have these magic boots, who knows what I can do? Yeah, I can do so many things. Excited by all the possibilities, the next thing Puss decided to do was your turn. What did Puss decide to do next with his magic boots? He can get rid of these animals. He can make things disappear. So I'm sure there are lots of things he can do. I'll be honest. If I had magical boots, I would make assuming the magical boots can make things appear, I would make a cake or some ice cream. What do I want now, actually? Oh, you know what I would really love? If I had magic boots that could make bubble tea appear. Bubble tea is like this type of sweet milk tea with little tapioca balls in it. Okay, they're like chewy little balls. They're so good. And I can't have bubble tea at the moment because of having to stay inside because of the quarantine. So if I had magic boots, I would make bubble tea. Okay, Lucia says, make the evil magician. Of course, because the evil magician came and cursed the painting. Okay. But before Puss could go and do anything fun, the evil magician jumped through the window. He's a very sporty magician. Damn, he said. You broke the curse. Yeah, you made it better. You broke the curse. I don't know if you can say has roto la maldición in Spanish, but in English we say you broke the curse. Okay. I will you are a talented magician. Come with me, cat, and we will be so powerful together. No thanks, said Puss, and he stamped his boots again. A snake appeared and coiled itself around the evil magician's neck. So coil around means like to wrap around. Yeah, so the snake coiled itself around the magician's neck so that he choked. Okay. The end. Sorry, that's a very abrupt, a bit of a brusque ending, but we are out of time. So I had a lot of fun today with all of you. I think we wrote a cute little story. I certainly enjoyed it. So here are the words again from today. If you enjoyed this story, I have a podcast where I write short stories for learners of English called Easy Stories in English. You can also book a class with me on italki, or you can come to my podcast and listen. You can read and listen to these stories at the same time. Okay? Had a lot of fun today. Have a good week. And so I'll just put the link to this in the comments. easystoriesinenglish.com. Thanks for coming, and hopefully I'll see you at my next class. Okay, have a good week. Bye.